Have you ever woke up in the middle of the night? You had to go to the bathroom or get a drink of water, or you heard some sort of sound out in a hallway or room. And you go out there and nothing's there. It's super dark, like darker than it should be. And you have this eerie feeling that you're not the only thing that's in that room with you. Now, a lot of people have had this feeling or these experiences. And what a lot of people say is your house is haunted. And what we're talking about today is haunted houses.
Hello and welcome to La Cantina, where each week we talk about new and terrifying experiences. My name is Tony, your host with the most, or Doña Torta, or whatever you beautiful people want to call me. And today I'm accompanied by the one, the only, the very own.
Just Austin, or El Skeptico,
Or?
El Guapo.
There you go.
I forgot it for a second.
Oh my God. What's up, man? You excited for this one?
I'm pretty excited.
Bro, this is our 20th.
Number, the big 2-0, you know?
Big 2-0. You believe that?
Yeah.
I apologize for the last episode. I really winged that. I'm sorry.
I don't apologize. I thought it turned out great.
Well, if it didn't, I apologize.
We did what we do.
But anyways, today I have a very, very special guest. He's been our number one supporter. I would say he's our number one fan according to Facebook. And
Facebook never lies.
no, dude, Facebook does not lie. So with further ado, I want to introduce my cousin, Luis, or as I prefer to call him, Lulu.
Hey, what's up, guys? Name's Luis. First time on the podcast. A bit nervous still. Kind of chitters came back. So I feel good. I feel a little bit more confident now. But yeah, I mean, like I said, glad to be here and glad you guys have me here.
It's good to have you here.
Yeah, I mean, glad that I'm able to kind of help you guys and hopefully get more people to come on and help support you guys. You know, like here's my granito de arena, and you know, like there you go. Hopefully more people can come in and help you guys boom.
Yeah, I just want to take some time out real quick. I know this is going to be a surprise, but I really want to say thank you for everything, for all the support, for like the ideas and everything that you've been giving me and like helping this come true, you know, because you've been there. Like I said, we're not like cousins, like blood cousins. Like you're my step cousin, but like you've been there through like thick and thin, and like the fact that you and your whole family are supporting everything that we do and like sharing stories. Might shed a tear, dude. I'm not gonna lie, but I just want to say like, dude, thank you. Like, thank you so much for all that stuff.
Yeah, no problem. Like I said, I mean, just like you guys, I myself am trying to do my own thing, have my own LLC coming in, and you know, like I said, like it costs nothing to support your locals at all. You know,
Yeah.
Just for you guys, just a quick listen. You know, it really doesn't cost much. You know, and just like that, I mean,
Oh, yeah, it makes all the difference.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
So take that time to like introduce yourself, because like I said, I know you. Like, dude, like we're
Yeah.
uña y mugre or nalga. We're in like English. My hot dog to my bun. You know what I mean? That burger
I'm the
to
hot
my
dog.
bun.
He's the bun.
The PB&J. All right, get that out of here. There's kids watching. But you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, my name is Luis. I know a lot of the listeners probably do know me, but for the people that don't, yeah, me and Tony are step cousins. I met him, I want to say fifth grade. It was fifth grade that I was, and
Nice.
we just kind of clicked almost instantly. It was kind of weird. My brother met him first, and it just kind of clicked and just went to like nonstop sleepovers, you know.
Nice.
But yeah, definitely. Like I said previously, I do have my own LLC going. Fixed Master Handyman Services. You can find me on both Facebook and Instagram. I'm just a beginner, so like I said, I mean, don't hesitate to reach out. You know, like I'll be more than happy to give you guys a bid. Look for me, or you can just find me on my personal, Luis Avila, on both. Well, that's on Facebook. On Instagram, I'm Gordo Mata 801.
damn, say that one more time, dude.
Gordo Mata 801.
It sounded so official.
Yeah.
Hot in here or what? Jesus.
Jeez. Yeah, it's kinda, you know.
Nancy, I know you're hearing this or watching this.
So yeah, aside of that, I want to take time to give a shout out to my beautiful wife and my beautiful kids that they do follow, tune in, and listen to the podcast, and they are still, well, my kid's still waiting for the goat lady.
Goat lady, it's coming up.
Yeah,
It's,
so
it's I'm working on it.
They just keep asking, when's that episode coming out, you know? And again, they did want to come. I told them I didn't know there's a spot for kids here, but I was like, I'll see. But yeah, I was like, no, I don't think so, sadly. But they do show the support from home.
Sweet. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and then also, my wife is also a realtor. So if you guys want to give her a shot, you guys plan on buying or selling a home, reach out to her at Nancy Avila at Colmier Realty.
Hey, I might be looking to buy a house here soon.
Let us know. My wife is a realtor, and she also does property management, where she does the rentals for them.
Oh,
so
nice.
She works on both ends of them. So
Dude, I
in
might
case of something like that,
actually
let us know.
I'm gonna hit you for something like. We'll talk later.
Yeah, definitely feel free. I mean, my wife and me are open ears at all times. So
Yeah, just start right now on the podcast. What was your social again?
Oh, it is 247-123-5566.
That was way too many numbers. That
You have
was,
a
that was a
social?
fucking
Yeah,
card
you sure?
number.
Bro, you guys ain't gonna get anything. There's nothing there to get. That's all I'm gonna say.
you're dead.
If anyone tries to steal your identity, they're gonna send it back along with 10 grand. I'm sorry.
Yep.
You've been through some stuff. Hey there, gamers. If you're tired of the same old energy drinks that leave you crashing, you got to hear about Dubby. Dubby Energy is not just an energy drink. It's a cheat code to victory. But what really sets Dubby apart? It's all about the taste and the goodness inside. Unlike other brands, Dubby Energy is like a party for your taste buds. Seriously, have you ever had an energy drink that actually tastes good? Dubby's got you covered with all natural ingredients and flavor profile that beats the competition. But here's the real kicker. Dubby's energy mix is loaded with vitamin C, B6, B3, and B12. It's like a vitamin boost in every sip. And get this, they use a coffee fruit extract so you won't be crashing later. It's an energy that lasts as long as the battle. And for you, the listener, you get a special discount. Use promo code La Cantina for an exclusive discount on your first and every order after that. Trust me, you do not want to miss out on this. Head over to dubby.gg and amp up your game. Now back to the horror. So let's kind of dive into like childhood memories, because we have a couple that are, you know,
Pretty funny.
do you remember the first time that we actually had met? Do you remember the baptism at that one place?
State
One
Fair Park?
place? Like a church?
No, that was Quinceañera. I think you're on a fight.
Oh no, yeah, yeah.
All the parents were all partying. We're out like in the middle of the field, and we made Tony get in a fight, and it was pretty.
Did he lose? Please tell me he lost.
I'll take it like a champ. I fucking lost, dude. You win
Better
some,
him
you
say it
lose
than
some,
me.
bro.
Better him say it than me.
Bro, you win some, you lose some. Hey, just don't do anything else. Just take it like a man.
The kid was older. I was like, go give him that.
Yeah, dude, I got my ass fucking beat.
Tony, you don't lose. You lose like everything.
No, dude, that time it was like actually my first like fight. Actually, I was so fucking nervous.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't know. I was trying to lose. Dude, what should I do? His brother. I'm gonna just say this. Hopefully he listens. Fernando, I love you, but he's a fucking idiot sometimes.
We're all in the back. Go, Tony,
Dude,
Tony.
fucking, he told me, he's like, dude, put some rocks in your hand. You're going to hit harder. My dumbass grabbed rocks, dude. I'm fucking swinging. I'm getting my ass beat, though, dude. Beat.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn. After that, I stopped hanging out with him.
Yeah, he's a
Tell
bad
me to put
influence.
fucking rocks in my hand.
He's a
Damn it.
bad influence.
Dude, okay, I'm going to say this just because it's pretty funny. And you called me a dumbass when it happened. Remember that one time when we were ditching class and I was texting your brother like, oh, dude, there's girls, whatever, and he got in an accident?
I think so. I think I was still in junior high. You guys were already in high school, so you guys were kind of slough out and do your sinner
shit.
stuff, you know.
To this day.
To this day.
But yeah, no,
Dang.
we ended up ditching, right? And then he came and picked me up because he had his license first.
Uh-huh.
He's a little bit older than me, right?
It was by Granger, in front of Granger, wasn't it?
No, it was in 41 and like close to Bangor.
Oh, and he had some. Yeah, I think he had some girls with him or something like that.
Yeah.
Back in the single days of these two.
Oh.
Dude, it is what it is, you know? You live and learn.
It is what it do, Yugi.
When he crashed, dude, and like he's like, dude, get out of the car. Like, my parents find out, they're going to freak. We're not going to be able to hang out anymore. I left, dude. I felt so bad, but I left. As I'm walking back to class, my other aunt saw me and caught me, dude. That's like around the same time. That's one of the reasons why I got sent to the monastery.
Oh,
Yeah, so it ties in. If you guys know that episode, it's
It ties in the sinner
it?
Tony.
Luigi's Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, Luigi's. Yeah.
I'd share that story there, but yeah, that's
Now
what happened.
imagine this: a little torta walking to school. Some
Little
chick
torta,
walks
dude.
behind him with a fucking chancla and smacks the shit out of him.
Oh, dude, I just remember the Ram because she had a red Ram, 1500, and I just seen it pull like coming towards me. I'm like, my heart dropped, dude. I was like, then I was at the same time I was getting texts from my friends like, "Yo, your mom's here at school looking for you." I'm like,
Oh, that text was a lot faster than you walking home.
dude. And then I remember that weekend, like they made me go to his house, and like his dad, they were so like mad.
Oh,
I was so embarrassed because they were reading. I don't know how, but I guess there was a way that my parents got my text messages, and they were just reading it out loud, like everything that I was telling his brother. And I was just so embarrassed. I was like, "Fuck!" And then he walks in. He's like, "You guys are fucking idiots." And I'm like, "Damn, bro, why you guys gonna do me like that?" And that's another reason why I kind of stopped hanging out with Fernando.
nice.
But yeah, but
He's smarter now. He
I
makes
agree.
better decisions now.
he's,
I hope so.
I think you guys do pipeline too, right? Or
yeah, we do pipe.
yeah. So that's exactly what he does. But
Okay.
He's the one that I told you he worked for GCI.
yeah, Agri Construction. I think now they went to
GCI,
BHI.
okay,
I think they got bought out by BHI.
Oh, they got bought out?
Yeah, I believe so.
Shit.
Yeah, I
Nice,
believe
okay.
So.
But yeah, with that being said, I know you have some stories for us because I've lived some of them with you. But everybody else is about to get like the blah, 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 blah. You guys got it. It's out.
I
Every
can't wait to
episode.
see. I want to see him scared because I feel like it'd be hilarious.
No, dude, it's kind of scary.
He's very scary.
It's a very scary. But I'll let you kind of share some stuff unless you got anything else to say.
No, I gave my shout out to my wife and kids, and I feel like that's the most important people in my life at the moment, right?
Nice.
Definitely a shout out to you guys for including me on the podcast, and
dude,
grateful
always.
to be here. You know,
Hey.
hopefully it's to help kind of get more guests in here to
Yeah.
kind of help you guys boom.
Yeah, dude, thank you.
I like it.
Like I said, thank you. You've always been there through all the heartbreaks at the Grupo Firme concert when I was. Yeah, let's go. Just get into it. It's okay.
Sweet. Hey, so with this story, set of stories, it's kind of stuff that happened to me through my lifetime. So it's kind of stuff that actually happened to me.
Okay.
And they were with my previous home when I lived with my parents still. So let's just kind of dive in, right? So I just kind of want to get a better understanding because Tony knows how my old house was, but I kind of want to get you guys and like the listeners to kind of get a better understanding of how this house is laid out, right?
Okay.
Okay, so it's a single floor home, right? You walk in, main door, living room. Right behind it, you kind of take like a full 90 or so, 160, what do you want to call it? This is kitchen. Okay.
Okay.
So you come back. My dad had built a room in the garage for my sister, so that's her room on the left side. My brother's room was on the right side, complete opposite. And then there's a little hallway down. Bathroom, my mom and dad's room in the far back right, and I was the last one on the left.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Last
so
door on the left.
Yeah, last door on the left. And I was the only door on the left on that hallway, so.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's get going. So with this, I was at a moment where my dad was kind of like fixing my room up. So me and my brother shared a room for quite some time to kind of, my dad can do his job and stuff. And then that's kind of what helped me kind of get with my whole like side gig, right?
Yeah.
So this one kind of is me, like a younger Lulu, like how Tony wants to call me. Still in my elementary days. I want to say like, I think this is before I met Tony, to be honest.
Yeah, because when I started hanging out with you guys and all that stuff, it was like.
I was 5th grade because I was coming back from Mexico around that time.
Yeah, because I remember when I first met you, when I first met Fernando, because I met Fernando first.
Yeah.
And I think it was at one of the quinceañeras that I met him.
Yeah, and I was in Mexico.
Yeah, you
I
were in
met you on a
Mexico.
Sunday soccer game, and they're like, "Oh, my cousin Tony's gonna play with us." I'm like, I only know one cousin Tony, and that guy is way too old to play with us. And then little Tony comes in, little chubby Tony. So I was like, okay, cool.
I can just imagine like a 90-year-old man playing soccer.
Right.
Slide tackle him.
Literally, right?
No,
So-
dude, okay, sorry, my bad. But
Okay, no, you're
Lulu knows that I'm dirty when it comes to soccer. Because there was a time, I know like right now we may not look like we play soccer, but we played soccer.
I still play.
I don't play anymore. My knees are really bad.
Tony had to
I'm
retire.
debating whether I should hang up the boots though.
Dude, I have to. My knees were just gonzo. But what's it called? He's always been a goalkeeper.
Oh, okay.
And like
nice.
so, like as age kind of started getting in and father time started kicking in, I started kind of working my way back to defense. And I just remember like when we'd play, he'd be like, "Tony, get your fucking shit together. Stop letting the ball go through." And I'm like, "Dude, stop yelling at me, coach."
I was pretty
Stop
aggressive.
it.
I was not a quiet keeper. I'll give you that. I wouldn't. I remember one time Tony slid and he left the slide like halfway. The player, he didn't even get close to the player. I'm like, what the fuck was that, dude?
I just needed a nap.
Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, back to this story, right? So I am like a big firm believer, and this story is kind of what really set it off. Where I had a fear of sleeping with doors open. I had a fear with sleeping with blinds open and mirrors. Okay.
See, mirrors I've heard a couple times now.
So on that other kind of like in the others, there's also a saying kind of like where like if you put your bed where your feet are facing towards the door, they say you shouldn't do that.
Oh.
Because when someone passes away, they go out feet first. So kind of when you sleep, like you're kind of like allowing those kind of demonic things or so kind of
like
play that factor, you know?
No way.
So yeah, so I mean that's something that I was told, and I feel like every time I've done that, like bad things just happen to me. So I remember this one night, we were me and my brother, and for some reason I always get the right side of the bed. It's just natural, I guess.
Yeah.
And so I was sleeping, had a pretty bad nightmare. Like it was weird at that time. Like I didn't have a phone, so I checked what time, but it was pretty late at night. Had this bad nightmare, woke up and looked towards the door, right? Door was open. And I'm looking up and I'm kind of like blurry vision, you know, kind of wake up and I'm looking out and I see this figure, right? Just kind of walk by. Dark cloak, almost like a Reaper kind of style.
Oh, what the heck?
Couldn't see the face, just whole cloak, bottom half. Like you only see from like torso up, bottom half, you could just see like the cloak covering it.
Oh.
Right? And so at the moment when I'm doing it, right, I'm watching the thing, you just see like a finger, long finger, right? And just keep note of this finger, right? Because it's going to tie into my next story. The finger just kind of come, right?
Oh, what
and
the heck?
Yeah, and so I was like, there's no way. I was like, maybe I'm just sleeping still. I'm like, I don't know, right? I was kind of like, uh-oh, you know? And again, I was also told don't pay attention too much because the more you pay attention, the more that'll happen.
The more
Right, okay.
The more it happens, okay? So I kind of let it be at that, you know? Again, it's elementary stage, so fast forward to junior high, okay? Fast forward to junior high. So let's fast forward to junior high. I'm not much of a napper. I'm not much of a napper during the day because then I have a really bad sleeping disorder to sleep at night. So to this day, I can't take naps throughout the day unless it's like before 3 o'clock specifically.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, like mine's changed a little bit. Like since I've gotten a little bit older, obviously, like I used to not be able to take naps, and like I hit a stage where I'm like, all right,
I need a nap.
I need a nap. I need a nap.
Yeah. So let's fast forward back now to junior high. My room is done, so I'm sleeping in my room, and I fell asleep during the midday, right? And so again, fell asleep, woke up. This time I had a phone, right? So this time, having this bad. I don't remember exactly what the dream was about, but it was just bad, like really bad. Like I was like,
You woke up in a sweat.
let's just say, I was getting dragged.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, okay,
Damn.
right? So I'm having this bad dream, right? And the only thing I do remember, like, very, very for sure, is that hand grabs my arm. Like, I just feel it wrap completely around my arm, like, fingers still overlapped.
What
Right?
the heck?
And so I'm kind of like, what the heck? And in my dream, I was getting pulled, right? So I was like, what the heck? So I woke up, and yeah, sure enough, I'm still, like, slowly, but it's there. I was like, what the heck, right? And so I'm like tripping out. I was like, oh, there's no way. Like, what the? And again, like, it's nothing. Like, ignore it. The more you pay attention to it, the more it's gonna happen. Ignore it.
Yeah.
Let it be.
How do you ignore that though?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't know. I guess I just don't get like. At the moment, I kind of get scared, but then I just kind of let it be. I'm like, I'm not gonna pay attention to it too much. Let it be, right?
Yeah.
So of course, I'm finally up. I'm able to move. doors are wide open. My front door, my closet door, and my blinds are all open. So thankfully, I was able to reach all my blinds from my bed. And then on my doors, like I kind of crawl on my bed. My closet door, I can reach it, but my front door was kind of tough, right? So I just grabbed like a pillow and like try to smack it. Yeah, I was like, I was like, no, right? Kind of like let it be. And it took me a while to go back to sleep, and I knocked out cold,
Nice.
right? So that was kind of like where that was at, where it kind of, kind of was like, okay, like there's something going on here, right? So I moved out. I want to say back when I was like 17.
Yeah,
So still in high school.
You moved at a really young age. I remember that.
Yeah, still in high school, moved out, lived with my wife and her family. And so then my parents, they had just gotten their visa. And so my dad, he was like, because my brother was going with them. My brother still lived with them. My sister, she had moved out with her baby daddy.
Yeah.
And so as my dad was heading out, he's like, hey, is it okay if you guys stay at my house and just take care of it while we're not here, And like, I don't mean stay here all day, but like at least spend the night to make sure like no one tries to break in. I'm like, yeah, not a problem, right?
Yeah, because Lulu lived in the hood.
Not right.
Rat-ta-ta-ta-ta.
You hear the mariscos in the back. Hey.
Dude, oh, yeah, for real, huh?
The mariscos, yeah. So anyways, we're kind of going right. And this time I had already started working where Tony had referred me to. And I took his spot, right?
Yeah, dude.
And
10 years of my life just wasted.
I'm almost there 10 years. And it wasn't wasted, man. Like, that's why I'm doing my LLC now.
Tony, you have like 29 years of your life wasted.
Yeah, basically.
Your life was meaningless.
It was,
till you
okay,
met
I'm going to
me.
say this. It was good, but it just wasn't my thing.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
It just wasn't like...
I'll give you that.
And Lulu knows, like, my dad is head honcho there. And it's tough when you work with family like that. Because, like,
I'm sure.
we would get it all, like, no one knew that we were cousins. Because, like, in that company, like, I'm not saying it now, but, like, the company before, it was, like, very cutthroat. And, like, they're like, oh, you only got that. Because, dude, I moved up quick. Like, fast. Like, I think in the first 3 years, first 2 years, I went from picking up dog shit, like a groundskeeper.
Yeah.
That's all you did, like all day, just pick up around the property, make sure it looks nice in the apartments. And then I moved up to like service tech, where they go and fix all your stuff, get the apartments ready and all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
And that was like in the first year, I moved up like that. And then in the second year, I was about to hit my second year, I had already became a supervisor. Yep. But it's just because like I picked it up fast, and everybody kept saying, "Oh, it's because of your dad and your dad and your dad." And like he would tell me, like, "Dude, like these guys are talking shit." And I'm like, "Why?" Like,
You want to squabble?
I would tell him, dude.
You got a problem?
Oh, dude, I would tell him. I was like, dude, tell him what's up. Tell him, do you know where I'm at? Where you can
Meet me by
find
the
me.
flagpole.
And no,
Meet me by the flag.
he noticed a couple of times I would give them attitude, dude. I would like, I wouldn't like be like timid. I would just be like, so what's up? Are you talking shit? And they'd be like, no, man, we love you. Like,
No, you're great. I know what you said.
yeah, it's just like,
Tony's just over there in the corner. Your father was a piece of shit.
no, I would actually tell them to their face. You know,
Yeah. Yeah, Tony didn't care. He's like, fire me, I don't care. He's like, I don't care
no,
about this
dude,
job.
no, because look, hear this out. Like, I know that I said to my dad, but my dad told everybody specifically. He's like, and he's a witness. He's like, if I have to fire my son, I'm not thinking it twice. I'm not overthinking it. Like, if he did something bad,
You kind of
he's
have
done.
to.
Yeah,
Like,
but like,
it's just
no,
business.
everybody thought that it wasn't like that. I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, I would tell you, my dad would fire me like if I did something wrong or
Right. I feel like you would have more pressure than other people.
Oh,
Yeah, 100%. That's how it was. That's exactly how it was. And no one would
bunch of
see that.
pressure.
I'm like,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
Tony gets no slack here. Like, let's say you go out and you do something. It's like, okay, hey, man, just pick this up. Tony gets it. It follows him home.
Yeah, I would get it like
sure.
at work, and then I would come home, and my dad would be like we'd be all chilling. Like I would leave work at work, but it would bug him because my dad's like, he's like the type of guy that's like do good, like like. But me and him would butt heads because I was younger and I was like a little rebel. Yeah. And then he's like, dude, like, hey, like this happened, and it would just turn into like a big argument. And then that's when like that didn't help out, and I was like, you know what, I just kind of leave and see what I can do on my own. But
Nice. Then you
Back
ended
to
up with me.
yeah, then I ended up with you.
Yeah, better
Surprisingly,
influences, huh?
Yeah.
Sure.
With the podcast now. So
Yeah. Okay, so back, we were stay the night at my parents' house, right? And I think I was only like probably like a month or two in.
Okay.
No, I lied. I was probably like about 6 months in. That's a big jump because I started in January.
Oh, okay.
And so my parents went to Mexico kind of like July, August. So we stayed the night, right? And at this time, it was me, my wife, and my daughter was just born. She was like in her months.
Oh,
like,
okay.
My oldest. And I get a call and like, I know my wife. Like I know what time she kind of roughly wakes up, and like I was like, this is way too early for you to be up. Like, what's up, right? And she calls me. She's like, hey, I just want to let you know, it's like, I got up out of that house. I left everything there. I just got myself changed. I got our baby changed, and I'm out. Like I left everything there. I'm not going back in until you come back home.
Oh, okay.
So I was like,
That's weird. Yeah.
what's up? Like what happened, right? It was kind of, and this isn't my parents' room. We were staying in my parents' room because that's the only bed that we could actually fit in, right? So it's kind of like, what happened? What's going on? And she was like, I don't know. I just heard some screaming, like in the house. I don't know who it is.
The heck?
And I thought, she's like, I thought I was just thinking of it, but then she's like, I heard it again. It's like, I just got up and left. I was like, didn't even hesitate, just left.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So she's like, I'm not going back till you come home. I was like, I'm not staying there. Like, and every time you're leaving for work, I'm leaving too. I was like, I'm not sitting there. Like, there's no way, right?
Your wife is a smart friggin' lady. Okay? Everyone knows GTFO unless you got a super soaker with holy pee in it.
We might need to get one.
We have one.
I
It's
have
just,
one. Just missing the priest, the holy water, and the drinking it part.
It's under construction right now.
I don't want to brag about it, but I am baptized, first communion, and confirmation, so I am kind of legit.
You trying to pull rank right here, bro? Me too.
Well, in that case, I need you to do me a favor.
Hey, wait, hold on, Lulu. You trying to pull rank, bro? Because I have all that too. And I was done in Mexico, bro.
Difference is that you're a sinner. You got sent for rehab.
Damn.
I've had none of this.
All right, I'm gonna shut up now and go back to Lulu.
See, okay. So then, kind of let it be. Completely ignored it. Didn't say anything about it. And then I want to say, kind of fast forward to when kind of my dad passed away.
Yeah.
Right. Back in 2017. So I think this happened kind of like within that year or so, roughly. And my mom and my sister lived there. My sister had moved back in, and it was just my sister, my mom, and then her kids.
Okay.
And so my mom's sleeping. Same thing. Here's someone screaming. She's like, what the heck, right? So mom's like, what the hell, right? She gets up, and my mom and my sister, like, they'll kind of just bump heads a lot.
Mm.
And so my mom goes into my sister's room, and she's knocked out. And she's like, why the hell are you screaming and this and that, And my sister's like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm sleeping. She's like, what? And they're like, well, I don't know. I just heard you screaming, and she got mad. But my sister's like, it's not me. Like, I'm knocked out. And my sister, she's hibernates like a bear. So it was kind of like, so I was like, all right, so maybe my wife didn't just
hear it, or
just her herself, right? So it's kind of like, it was kind of crazy that I was like, okay, so we're not the only ones that kind of experience. Like my mom kind of initially kind of try to put two and two together, and we're like kind of like, nah, like we're just kind of still kind of pushing to the back. We're like, nah, there's nothing here, right? So it's whatever, So when my dad had passed away, right, there was like kind of a lot of weird stuff. That's when things really kind of started kind of getting in there, right? And so it was really weird. I just remember I didn't really get to grieve that much when my dad passed away because I was kind of like the one that had like the cool head. So, I was kind of like the one like addressing everyone. I had his phone, like taking phone calls. So I really didn't have the moment to grieve, right? So I was kind of like, okay. And so I remember one night I just felt it pretty heavy, and I just kind of felt like things hit the fan. Might sound kind of cheesy and stuff, but I was like, look, Dad, I was like, if you're there and you hear me, I was like, let me know what you want to be said. It's like, and I'll relay that over, right? Like, just let me know. Like, I don't know how you're going to do it. Just tell me, I'll figure it out, right? Go home, got to the bed. And at that time, my mom was staying with us because I didn't let her sleep in her home alone because no one was there. So I just kind of brought her home with me, right? So she would stay in my room, and me and my wife would sleep in the living room on a blow-up mattress. Mm-hmm. And so I just remember I went, like got home, like knocked out, like not even 5 minutes, right? My mom had left before me. And the following morning, she got up, and she went home, and then I was like kind of like, all right, like I overslept, so I got up. I told her, I was like, hey, I'm going to my mom's, like, you coming or no? And she's like, yeah, let's go, So we get there, and I just hear like arguing, right? I'm not gonna get into detail, because it's more personal stuff, right? So I just heard arguing, right? I couldn't really make up the words because like the windows were closed and stuff, so it wasn't really, kind of. So I walk in, I was like, look, guys, like that's not what my dad wants. He wants this. He wants this to be like this, and so, right? And out of their faces, they were just kind of like, how'd you know what we're talking about if you're not even here? Like you're barely walking in. I was like, I don't know. It just came to my head. That's what my dad wanted, and it just met with their argument, and they just stayed quiet. They're like, damn, like I'm not gonna not gonna interfere, right? So it's like, all right, cool, like it is what it is, you know. But it was pretty crazy that just from one night to next, wake up, go have that argument with them that they were having, and I just came in. I'm like, hey, dude, like it's literally only been a day since he passed away, and we're already arguing. Like it's crazy, right? So I'm like, let's relax, you know. So it was pretty chaotic, right? Kind of where that kind of like, whoa, you know, like I tell my dad and like let me know, and exactly this next morning, just bang, right? Like no idea, whatever. So anyways, kind of going more into that, like when, what do you call it? Like when they pass away, they do a novena, right? So
Yeah,
they
so-
kind of like do their rosary.
So like a novena is basically like when someone passes away, like for them, I would say like almost like to get into heaven, or like to help them like kind of pass their how do you say that word? Purgatory? Because like in like our belief, like it says like that you go to purgatory for a bit, and then you
Purgatory?
Yeah, thank you. Purgatory. Sorry, I was like trying to say it in Spanish because it's purgatorio. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, purgatory, and then
You said
like,
it wrong again.
whatever. Purgatorio. You guys heard it from Austin. If you guys don't know, you know now.
Purgatory.
Purgatory. That you decide. That's where they decide up or down. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then they do that, and then they put like they just like do the rosary like for 9 days, and like just praying like, at a certain time, and that's just, like Then you like lift them up, and that helps them kind of pass in the next life.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that's like the belief in like what we were brought up as kids.
Yeah.
So I did it a couple times like with my grandparents and another.
I think at one point I even led it once. Not with my dad's, but at another relative. Like I was kind of getting into it, and they let me like, oh, like you lead it. I'm like, okay. Like what do I do? And they kind of just gave me the book, and I led it.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's crazy. So they're all right, cool, you know. So, anyways, during this novena time frame, my mom was kind of starting to kind of like, all right, I'm gonna just stay home. Like I can't interfere with your family and kind of get in there. You know, I'll just kind of settle back into my house. Like I'm gonna have to regardless, right? So this one night, right, like it's November, right? So it's getting cold already. Heater's on. My mom, they like to keep it pretty hot. I'm like, it's crazy, right? 75, 76, and I'm like,
Oh, man.
I was like, that's
okay.
way hot, man. I was like,
That's like-
73 is pushing it, and
Right.
they're like at 76, right? So the room, like the whole house is warm, right? And I'm getting ready to say goodbye. You know, there's still a couple of people left, like heading out, and I'm just kind of trying to convince them, like, hey, like, you sure? Like, you want to stay here? She's like, yeah, it's fine. I got to get used to it. So I'm like, okay. So we go to the back room, and she's like, it's really cold in here, like really cold. And I was like, are your vents open? She's like, yeah, my vents are open. Like literally the whole hallway, all the other rooms, perfectly warm. You get into her room, you could see like the residue or whatever of the water of the heat. on
Oh,
her
it's
windows.
condensing?
Yeah.
Oh, what the heck?
Yeah, so I was like, this doesn't make sense. And
is
she's
very
like, can you check the heater? I'm like, Mom, the heater's like a 76. Like, what am I supposed to check? Like, something's going on in your room. Like, that's not like your room is only spot that's cold.
Right. That's
So it didn't make sense,
weird.
right? And like you could feel it like
Like
at
the
the doorway,
temperature
it just
drop.
kind of stopped. Like you'll feel like that. It
Oh,
felt
no
cold,
way.
Like, you're like,
there wasn't like that transition? What
it was just
the
kind of like
heck?
dead. So I was like, what? So I was kind of like cold, man. I was like, dang, like it is cold, right? And when I'm in the house, I don't wear a sweater because I'm too fat. Like I'll sweat, and so I'm just kind of like, no, it's cold in here. Like I feel it, right? So, anyways, she stayed there that night. The next morning, she says, like, hey, like I felt someone get in bed. They sat on the bed, got in bed, hugged me.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, that's kind of weird, right? Because they say kind of like when there's like a spirit or so in the area, like it gets cold, stays kind of cold, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, that's the only thing I could think of, you know? But it was just kind of crazy, right? Because like now I'm slowly kind of like trying to figure things out with like this house, you know? So they kind of, I don't know, it just kind of threw us all, well, it threw me off because I was like there and I was kind of like really like paying attention to my mom and like what she needed and stuff, you know, at that time.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of noticed, I knew it was really, really weird, like something that you don't really experience too often.
It's weird. It's like I said in the last episode when my hands got really cold. When with the go back and look at that episode so you know what I'm talking about.
So, okay, so anyway, so like that kind of happened. Let it be, right? The whole novena and all that stuff is gone. Like I had gone back to work already. And I had this dream, right? So like my wife's grandma was staying with us and she bought me a Bible. It was in English, but she bought me a Bible. I'm like, all right, cool, right? Because, I mean, I can read Spanish, but I don't fully understand it. But, I mean, I'm no sabo.
Sabo, okay.
But you know, like I for the most part, I'll understand it, right?
That means
And
he doesn't
so-
understand. No sabo means like you don't understand.
Well,
Like I can read it. Like I'll read it, right? I'll read it. There's some words I'll kind of like mix up on, but to comprehend it all the way is kind of like I'll have to like stop and like.
Dude, mine's like I'll type it and then like I'll be wanting to say something and it comes out like totally different from what I'm.
Well,
trying to
if
say.
it makes you guys feel any better, I can barely talk in English, and
No,
you know?
it's okay. I'm gonna say this. It's harder for like a bilingual guy because like I'll do it with you sometimes, and you kind of look at me, and like I'll say something. Like right now with the whole purgatory.
purgatory.
Yeah, like I want to say it in Spanish.
Yeah.
and there's some words that I want to say in Spanish, but it comes out in English.
I can see that.
Make
Yeah.
Spanglish a legit language then.
Yeah.
Spanglish is-
Right? So anyway, so I got this Bible, right? And I would put it on my side of the bed. Again, I'm on the right side of my dresser, my nightstand. Had it there, right? And at this point, I'm starting to have dreams of my dad. Okay? So,
I remember
and
you telling me
like
this.
pretty realistic dreams too, right?
Oh, okay.
So like there was one where like I literally woke up crying just because I just remember like I was like a kid and I just see him walking away, right? And I'm like, Dad, is that you? You know? And he wouldn't turn around. Like he wouldn't turn around, look at me, he's just walking. You know, like just one sidewalk, light, there's no surroundings, just walking away. And once I finally catch up to him, I'm an adult, like I'm me, right?
Oh.
And I finally get to see him, and I'm like, dude, it's really you. And I hug him, and it felt so real, like I was literally hugging my dad. And he would just look at me, and when he was gonna open his mouth, he disappeared, and my dream ended, right? So I woke up crying. I told my wife, I'm like, I just had a dream, right? And it just really hit home because it felt so real, you know, because I never really got to say goodbye to my dad. If that, you know, it's kind of little dilemmas that we had kind of hit personal, so we weren't really on much talking stages, so it kind of really hit home, right? So
Yeah.
it's like it felt bad, right? So then this next dream that I had, it was really like just dark, black room. You could hear my dad. Like I know it was I couldn't see my dad, but I could hear my dad's voice. And my dad didn't really speak English, right? But he would yell, "Help, help," you know? But it was in English, but I recognized that voice. Like I know that's my dad, right? And so as I'm having this dream, it's black, just black tunnel, and I'm like, what the heck is going on, you know? And then just kind of like, you know, like you had like kind of like those scary movies, you have kind of like that little screeching noise, like that. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so not the sound, but
Similar?
a face pops up. Pretty demonic face.
Oh.
Comes up, starting from back, and it starts laughing. And it gets closer and closer and closer and closer. And to me personally, like when it hit like point blank to my face, I felt like my house was shaking. Like I felt my whole house shaking. It could have just been my body shaking, but I was trembling, right? I was like super like uneasy. I was like, first thing I did is reach over, touch the Bible, and just disappeared. I'm like, and I woke up and I was scared. Like when I say I was scared, I think that one scared me like more than anything else. Like,
Oh, I
there's no
bet.
way.
I got a story about a face next to mine. I've told Tony that story.
So that one to me was like, I was like, holy hell, I was like, what's going on, right? And then touch the Bible and you kind of get like that glance, like whatever, right? So I had that one and I was like just shitting bricks, dude. Like
Oh, I bet.
I was like,
I
damn,
bet.
right?
Oh,
And
dude,
so
that's-
then we had a little altar at my house, my first house, and you know when you get you put candles on the altar, right? And you light them up, and sometimes they turn black, sometimes they don't. Right?
What?
Like you ever had a candle and you light it up and like the glass goes black?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
there's
Okay.
like meaning behind that.
Yeah. So this started happening to me after that dream. Like every candle I'd put on my dad would go black, every single one. And so
Wait, so what does it mean if it goes black?
I personally didn't know. I didn't know. I don't know what it is. But I talked to Tony's mom and she just kind of, because Tony's mom cleans the apartments where I work at and I've used her. So in case you need to get some apartments cleaned, LNV services.
I'm sorry, Mom. I never shattered your business.
That's
out.
crazy. The
I've
adopted
never
son.
shouted her business out.
The
either. I
adopted
feel
son
like a
here.
terrible, terrible random person she's never met before.
If you have
Right.
Airbnbs, you know, hit her up. I'll put her info right here.
No, right here.
I feel like I never see them here though. Nah, just kidding.
All right, fine. We're putting it over there.
So yeah, so I never understood the meaning for that. And Tony's mom, she may have told me. I'm not too sure. I don't remember often because this was back in 2017, right? So it was kind of like this year was overlapping with 2017, 2018, right?
Okay.
And so I kind of told her about it because she's like, "Oh, how are you doing?" Like every now and then, like when we'd kind of like butt in the apartments because I'm like rekeying her. So she's like, "Oh, hey, like how are you doing? Like how are you feeling? Like how are you guys holding up?" And I told her, I was like, "Well, like I'm having something strange, right? Like I put a candle on for my dad, and every time I light it up, like it goes black." And like, and I told, like, and I know every now and then, like the candle would go black, but every candle I would put on for him would turn black. Like the glass would just go black. And so I remember she was like, "Okay," he's like, I'm gonna give you 2 prayers. He's like, "Send these, like, doesn't matter what you're doing, just have them play in the background."
The Magnifica?
I think so.
Yeah.
There was 2 that she gave me. I think one of them, I can't remember what the other one was. And she's like, even if you're showering, just put it on, right? He's like, but you have to listen to both every night. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, makes sense, right? I was like, prayer. Like, at that time, I was still kind of in the Catholic phase. Like, right now, I'm not active. But, so I was kind of like, okay, like, that makes sense, right? It's like, so how do I know when I'm good, like, when I'm done, right?
You'll know.
And she's like, you'll know. So I was
Okay.
like, okay. And so I think it was like a week or week and a half that I was doing it nonstop. And so then I put the candle. I was like, all right, I'm just going to stop, see what it does. Put a new candle, perfectly fine. Right? I put the prayer on again. It went black.
Oh, what the heck?
So then I was like, okay, like I'm going to let it be, right? So I'm not going to say the prayer anymore. Put a new candle on. It was fine. Wouldn't go black anymore. And then that's when I started having more dreams of my dad that were more like,
Vivid?
like they were more
Or lucid.
they were kind of like, yeah, like thanks, like I made it kind of deal, you know what I mean?
Oh,
so it kind of set me more at ease where I felt like my dad was still kind of floating. He wasn't really where he needed to be. So he was asking for help to get where he needs to get.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so the whole black candle thing is like, they say, because I told you that I ask a lot, the reason why kind of doing this, but the black candle means like when like a soul is like kind of like lost and it's getting, and when in a way like tormented, because you got to think like it's an afterlife.
okay,
So like
okay.
there's, like I said, like I've said in many episodes, as above, so below. So like your soul, like it's basically like in a fight. You know what I mean, because you're making your way to your destination, like where you're gonna be at.
Yeah.
So like in the way, like there's gonna be bad spirits, people, you know, just
Right, some
things.
sort of test or something.
Yeah.
I can see that.
So the whole thing with the black thing is like when you're like, they say when you're repenting for your stuff, that's like because you're like battling like the demons. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it goes black,
Okay.
and like that's when like they say like, that's when they say like spirits from the other side come back and try to talk to you, or like you get like vivid dreams or like vivid like flashbacks or daydreams of like that certain person.
Yeah.
It's because they're asking someone that they feel close to do something for them, whether it's a prayer, candles, or sometimes you put a cup of water for them. Like that helps out too.
Okay.
Because like they say like it's thirst, you know, like they're thirsty, like you need water to like purify.
Oh, okay.
So, and you'll see it, like we did it for my grandpa, and like same thing, like my mom had a couple of dreams like that, and we'd put a cup of water next to his picture in his little memorial, and the water would fade like fast.
Oh.
Yeah, and you were just like, the heck, like what's going on? So like it like ties into all that. So that's that she didn't tell you, because like I know my mother.
Yeah.
And like she doesn't really go into it that much. She'll just be like, "Hey,
She
do
just,
this."
like, just do this. And
I want to
just
get
try
this lady on the podcast.
Oh, I've tried, dude. She does not want to.
What happens if I tell Satan he can come into Tony's house?
Yeah, no.
Should be here in a heartbeat.
You son of a fuck!
Let's just say Tony will get grounded as an adult. Because I swear, like when we were kids, he'd breathe, he was grounded. He'd ask permission for something, he was grounded. And like it was always me sleeping over because he was always grounded. It was crazy.
You know what, Tony? You're grounded.
You're grounded.
Shut it.
That doesn't work on me anymore.
Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah? I'm going to tell Stephanie to ground you. How about that?
We'll tell your wife to ground you.
Boom.
It's all good. It's all good in the hood.
I'm going to tell Sammy to ground you.
All right, then I have
Little
troubles right there.
Sahid. Just wait till he gets big.
Them is fighting words.
Just wait till he
fine.
grows up, man. He's gonna right hook you pretty good.
My Sam.
So yeah, right. So we're kind of like done. We're kind of settling in. Like all like the bad things that we feel like kind of were interfering are gone, right? And so my daughter at the time, I believe she was 3. Yeah, she had just turned 3 because my dad had passed away on the 17th of November. And November is a really busy month for my family. My sister's firstborn, is like the first weeks of November.
Okay.
My dad passed away November 17th, and then his birthday was November 22nd, and then my daughter was born on November 27th, and then my brother's son is November 26th, but he wasn't born at that time. Like literally, like my brother's son was born the day after we buried my dad.
Oh, wow.
Like literally, like the next day.
Yeah, that sounds like a busy month. Jesus.
Yeah, so I mean, the month of November for us is really tough because it's like a bittersweet moment, you know. 'Cause we're celebrating a lot of birthdays, but we're also celebrating like the passing of my dad, right?
Right.
And so, anyway, so as we're going, my daughter at 3 years old, right? She's kind of like, I'm tired. I was like, why are you tired? Like, you literally slept all night. She's like, it's because my dad comes out of the closet. Like, he's like, my dad. So he's like, my grandpa comes out of the closet and he tickles me at night and he doesn't let me sleep. And so we're like, what?
Okay.
I was like, what do you mean? She's like, yeah, he comes out of my closet and he tickles me at night. I was like, and then I have a hard time sleeping and I try to tell him to stop, but he won't. So, and this is in my first home, right? Mm-hmm. So I was kind of like, all right, this is kind of odd, right? And then like later on, like my son, he's barely like a year and a half, probably a little bit under. And we had made shirts for my dad when he passed away, right? Because I mean, his funeral was really huge, like huge. Like there's like probably someone drove by like, dang, it's like, what, the president died or what? It was big. Like, I was like,
dude, my uncle, he was loved, dude. Like, he was a stand-up dude. Like, just even though like he would like pull our ears and tell us like, yo, dude, he was a goat. He was a goat.
My wife just tells me like, when you die, that's probably how your funeral's gonna be. It's like mine, you're probably gonna have like 6-7 people, and I'm like, if that's the case, I'm gonna go gunpoint to everyone. Hey, get in here.
You're gonna come say a eulogy. Who is that?
Yeah, exactly, right. So then my son, like literally not even 2, he's like a year and a half, a little bit under, and he sees the shirt. He's like, Grandpa died. And my wife, like, she has a video of it. I can't remember where she put it though, but she had it. She's like, Grandpa died. And my son, I was like, what? I was like, what do you mean? Like, he's like, yeah, he's died. Because he's little. He doesn't know how to, like, he's dead. He's like, he died. He's died. And I'm like, what? So it kind of just threw us off, like, how was under 1.5? Like, either I'm thinking either this kid's really smart or I'm just really dumb and don't think kids at that age really understand.
Yeah, no, that's...
So I was kind of like, that's kind of weird. You know what I mean? So I was wondering, it's like, maybe it kind of takes effect with, like, with the whole thing with my daughter, right, where she's saying that my dad would come out of the closet and tickle her, right? So I'm like, maybe same concept, right? Like it's kind of like he kind of feels it too, but he's kind of like, my dad really didn't. Like my dad had a lot of pictures of my son, but he didn't really like live much with him because he was barely like a year, right?
Right.
So it was kind of tough. So then, it was really tough at that time, right? Because like my dad passed away November 17th, and then his dad back in Mexico passed away January 17th of 2018.
Oh, wow.
And then his brother that lived here passed away September 17th. So like literally in less than a year, like all three like just gone.
Yeah. Jesus.
So we're kind of like, that's crazy, right? So I went to Mexico to go for my grandpa's funeral and stuff. Really risked that one. Like I went with no passport.
Oh.
I remember that call, dude.
I remember it was harder leaving the U.S. than coming into the U.S.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, dude, it was. I remember that call. Like I think you told me, no, I was, hey, I'm going to Mexico. I was like, oh shit, dude. Like, I think at that time our properties where we were like both supervising, they were pretty close to each other. No, and he's like, yo, I need you to help me. Like, I got some stuff to do. I was like, all right, cool. Like, where are you going? And then he told me, I was like, oh shit, dude. Like, well, let me know what's up. And he's like, dude, I don't have a passport. Like, 'cause I told him that I went to TJ and I just got in with my license. And I was like, dude, you should be good. It's family emergency. Like, just go.
Let's just say my trip didn't go to TJ. So TJ, I think in Tijuana is still a little bit easier, but to go more into Mexico was a lot harder.
Yeah, because even when you go, like, as an American citizen, you have to fill out a paper. And by the way, you have to keep that paper. If not, you have to bribe your way into the Mexican immigration so they can give you, or you have to pay. And it's a fuck ton of money. When I went to Cancun, I didn't remember.
Cancun?
Like, yeah, I went to Cancun.
Is it nice?
Oh, dude, beautiful. I want to go again.
I'm trying to go. Get my wife to go. Let's go.
But I went to Cancun, and you know they give you this little paper. You got to fill out why you're there, you get, like all this stuff, how long you're gonna be there, like and all that stuff. And I filled it out, and then I forgot because I had gone to Mexico like 2 years prior, and I remember my mom was like, "Oh, give me that paper because you're gonna need it later."
Yeah.
Totally spaced it when I went to Cancun, and then I go back. And then my wife's like, hey, where's your paper? And I was like, what paper? And she's like, you have to have that paper. If not, they're going to make a big deal. And then, like, you know, like, I don't know what they're going to do. And I was like, oh, it's fine. I'll just do what I did in TJ and I'll sweet talk my way into it.
Tony the sweet talker.
Dude. No, I've gotten out a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff.
Here's my thing here, real quick. If I go to Mexico and I lose that paper that you're talking about, they're going to take one look at me and go, yeah, you don't belong here. Come on.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, you. But with me, dude, it was like a big deal. Like
That or you think you're from one of the northern states, man.
Yeah. It was a big deal. I ended up having to pay like $100 or so to get just a blank piece of paper again and fill it out. And I'm like, dude, this is
I actually didn't get to fill that out. So it was weird. It just really happened like really, really quick. And I was really hesitant to leave because like my kids were just so small and my wife, and like to leave her home alone with my kids. And I was like, I don't know. And my wife said, just go. Like, it's your grandpa. Like, go. Like, all right, whatever. So I literally packed from, I just got off work. That happened. In like 2 hours, I was on a plane. So I got a plane from Salt Lake to LA. They would not sell me a ticket from LA to San Diego.
What?
Yeah. They
Why?
just said, you can't. I said, because you don't have a passport. I was like, but it's in the
You
States.
don't need a
It's like,
passport.
and they wouldn't. So there we are, right? We landed in LA like 10 o'clock, 10:30, and we get a taxi. The guy's like, you guys my first drive. I was like, hey, bro, sorry to tell you, we're going to Tijuana, dude. And he was like, what? He's like, yeah, it's probably my only drive, and I'm done then. And so, yeah, we got a taxi, went all the way down to Tijuana. Really sketchy. So we're like, nah, we're going to go through the airport. He's like, we're not crossing by foot. We're going to the airport, cross the airport. Got there, and it was really easy. Next, so they're just like, yeah, it's like, come to this side. I can't let you pass, but come to this side. And then he comes like, oh, now we're off cameras and microphones. He's like, just give me some money, I'll let you pass. I'm like,
Just
all
go
right.
for it.
That's how
Like,
it
all right,
works
cool,
out there,
right?
dude.
No
On
way.
my way
So
back-
is this Border Patrol, like U.S. Border Patrol?
No, this was Mexico's.
Mexico. Okay.
And so I'm coming back now, right? And we had to get the death certificate of my grandpa while I was there. Like, you need to take this for in case they ask you, like, what were you doing with no passport? It's like, it was kind of an emergency, you know, it's like my passport wouldn't make it in time. So I'm coming back, we're crossing, and the guy, he was just kind of like, it was, like I said, it took me like 30 to an hour to kind of get in from that passport, the Mexican side. And so coming back, the guy, he just looks at her, he's like, where's your passport? I was like, I don't have one, I just came with my ID. And so I left, I can't remember if I had the original copies with me or I left the originals with my wife, but I had a paper form of both my ID and my social. In case you want that, it's 444-5675. My social.
That's it.
Oh, let me get a pen real quick.
So it was kind of like the guy, he was like, what are you here for? And I was like, oh, it's like my grandpa passed away. He's like, are you going to come back? And I was like, not that I know of it, not anytime soon at least. He's like, you come back, come with the passport. I'm like, yeah. He's like, all right, go.
Nice.
So I'm like, well, okay. So I was like, that was a lot easier than getting into Mexico. So that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
So we come back, and my wife was kind of like, do you want to go see a medium? And I was like, I don't think so. I was like, because I feel like that's kind of against our religion, right?
Bro, I remember that call. He's like, bro, like, my wife wants to go over there. I'm like, dude, just do it.
And I was like, that's kind of against my religion, ain't it? I was like, that's kind of like, that's kind of satanic stuff, right? Like, aren't you kind of? And she's like, no, like on the thing it says that it's not, you know. And then we were kind of like iffy, and I just told my wife, I was like, you know what, screw it, let's go, right? So I come back, and like a week or two in, we're going. Lady lives out Park City area, right? And we're driving, and we're like, just like on one of your previous episodes, he's like, nah, it's like, don't fall for the easy shit. Like, make them actually work for it. Like, make them like don't just be like, oh yeah, like 100%, like yeah.
Oh yeah,
like just simple stuff. Like,
yeah. You can't be like, oh yeah, did your
Dad have a red
grandpa
shirt?
have a blue shirt?
it's like what? Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, really, yeah. So it's kind of like, yeah. So me and my wife are like, nah, let's go into this, and we're not gonna get fooled like right off the bat, right?
Yeah.
And so we kind of get there, and I was still kind of nervous. I was like, I don't know. So I told my wife, I was like, what does she know? She's like, nothing. I just messaged her. She just knows my name, and that's it.
Okay.
She knows nothing else. Right? So we're like, okay, cool. We get in. The lady comes in. She's like, wow, you guys are having a party. She's like, I can hear your music coming full blast. And me and my wife, we blast our music. So sometimes our kids are like, Dad. And I'm just like, let the music play. You know, just kind of like, it's, yeah. You know, then they get their music and they want to turn up on Blade. I'm like, nah, I'll turn it down.
No.
Yes.
We listen to good music here.
Yeah.
Except country.
Yeah. Huh?
Except country.
Except country.
Oh, my.
Country.
Continue.
You know what? Let's wrap this up.
I had to throw it in there, bro.
Oh, man. Yep. We're gonna squabble outside.
All right.
Let's say that. You're going to lose another fight, Tony.
I'll post the video right here.
You know? World star. So, yeah. So we get in there, right? And she's like, yeah, I just hear your music full blasting, right? It's like, cool. I'm like, all right. And then we kind of get going, right? And, you know, like comedians, they kind of start walking. They're walking around, their eyes are just kind of like all over the place, like, right?
Yeah.
And as I'm sitting there just kind of getting comfortable, and I like to hug pillows. When I'm on a couch, I hate the pillow on my back, but I hug it. So I was like, I'm just hugging it.
Oh, okay, nice.
And then she's like, someone needs an oil change. And I was like, that's pretty common. I was like, but I was kind of like, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I think everyone needs an oil change, right? Tony specifically. Tony specifically.
Continue.
That's a whole nother story. That's funny. But yeah, so we're kind of like, yeah, whatever, you know. But that was one thing that my dad was always, because I hate mechanic work. I hate working on my cars. Like, I'll drive the car and that's it. And my
Drive it till it dies.
And my dad was firm. He's like, check your fluids, check this. And I'm just like, I'm too lazy, right? And so I was like, whatever, let it be. Kind of keeps going, right? And she's, I see a gentleman coming in. He's wearing like a full mechanic suit. I can't make up the name. Hair slicked back. He's like, he seems kind of like in his, like late 20s, early 30s. And so I was thinking, like, probably a younger version of my dad, right? So in my head, I was like, okay, like, yeah. I'm like, what did he say? And he's like, he's having like a glass, and he wants to have a cheers. He's like, with you. And I was like, okay. So I was kind of like, what's that, right? And he says that he apologizes because he's never really had that free time with you to, like, actually cheer and, like, you know, get like the whole gratitude of like who you are, who you've become, and kind of stuff like that, right? Because me and my wife were pretty discreet. Like, if we were fighting, no one would know, right? And so my dad, he respected that a lot. Yeah. He's like, I don't know. He's like, I just know they have their home, they have their things, their kids are good, and that's that. That's all he ever knew. So he was just like, I'm proud of you. Like, you made it. And I'm sorry that I never really like shared that moment with you to say I'm proud of you. So I was kind of like, okay, cool. It kind of makes sense, right? And so she's kind of like, just kind of pointing some stuff that would only have happened to my dad. She's like, he doesn't feel no more head pain. He doesn't feel like his like wrist pain, because he started kind of getting arthritis on his wrist. And so we were kind of like, okay, you know, kind of started like clicking where it wasn't like, it was actual detailed stuff. I'm like, okay,
right,
yeah, you know, but I still wasn't kind of like, oh my God.
You were like, oh,
yeah,
shit,
yeah.
right.
I was still kind of just
blunt,
but like inside I was kind of like, yeah, like that kind of makes sense, right? And so my daughter, my sister just she was going to baptize her daughter in like the next month. And she's like, I see that there's going to be like a ceremony, like what is it you guys call it, right? Like, because you guys are, like, what religion you guys are? Like, we're Catholic. She's like, yeah, there's going to be like a ceremony with like a baptizing or introduction or something like that, right? He's like, your dad wants you to know that he will be there. Like, he's not going to miss that for anything. And my dad, since he lived with my sister and her kids, like, he would help my sister a lot with that. And so, like, he was really attached to them. Right? And so he's like, he just wants you to know he's not missing that for anything.
Nice. Okay.
So I was kind of like, that
sounds like your dad.
Yeah, like, it's like, it doesn't, like, how would you know that there's a ceremony? Because my sister hasn't even passed out, like, invites, hasn't posted on social media. I'm like, well, maybe you can find that on social media, right? Nothing. So I was like, all right, I kind of started kind of clicking and making sense, right? And so I was like, all right, like, that's cool. And so we kind of left it at that. We took off, we left, right? And then we go into my mom's house, right? We get there, ring the doorbell, knock. And at this time, my mom had a security system, so the doorbell would ring, and she had a little screen in her kitchen, and it would show who was there, right? We get there, she opens the door, and like, we come in, we're like, yeah, whatever, you know. So we walk in, sit down at her kitchen table. We're sitting there for like a good 5 minutes. Doorbell rings again. We check the camera, no one was there. We get up, open the door, no one was there. Right after the meeting, so we're just kind of like, that doesn't make sense. It was really, really weird that we're just kind of like,
yeah,
like, that's crazy. I was like, to me, that threw me. I was like, is that a spirit coming back, or like, did they follow us to the meeting and the way back, and they were just kind of, I don't know. It was just kind of one of those things you just can't really explain.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's weird.
Okay.
So-
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, I
Damn.
feel like so far as of that, like that's literally like all the stories that's happened to me personally. I mean, I know it kind of went kind of like, you know, kinda like,
There's a lot of ups, a lot of downs, a lot of sideways. There's a couple upside downs, but we're not going to talk about that.
Talk about that. I just want to talk about Tony and oil changes. But yeah, I mean, that's what I got. I mean, to me, it was really crazy because I've never experienced something like that. But
Yeah, no, that's a
It was-
freaking crazy
it was
story.
weird. Really weird for me.
It's better than anything I've had.
Bro, it's crazy. We've had some other stuff like together. I think that one time too. I think we did hear that screaming. Remember that?
I believe so.
We were in your room.
I was too young. I don't remember. Just kidding.
Don't you? No, I remember it because I'd always sleep over, like you said, or we'd
When he wasn't grounded.
Yeah, when I wasn't
It
grounded.
was really rare, but it happened.
It happened when
When it
the
happened,
blood moon on the third month of the sixth night.
yeah, when it happened, like,
Specifically when Tony's mom was on good terms.
yeah. But anyways, like, we were in that room, and because we would stay up playing FIFA, like we loved playing FIFA, dude, like all the time, just FIFA. And I remember we were playing, and his mom or his dad told us, like, "Hey, you guys need to cut it off," or "Yeah, time to go to bed," or whatever.
Yeah.
And like we were getting ready for bed, and then we heard the screaming because they had the windows open, and I was like, "Yo," I was like, "What?"
And don't sleep with doors and windows open and
I was like, "What?"
mirrors. I was scared.
Okay. I'm going to do all of these when I get
I mean,
home. Just
in
be
my
like,
new
"All
home,
right,
I
let's
kind
do
of got
this."
over it with my newer home because I haven't felt anything
Yeah.
off
Weird.
edge at my new home.
Creepy.
But
See?
in my previous home, yeah, I was still kind of like leave the door kind of cracked, like because my kids were like, no, like don't close the door, you know, and they were sleeping in their own room already, and so I kind of got used to it now. But I haven't felt kind of like where weird stuff happens now, so I just feel like it was kind of like my parents' home, and then it kind of followed me into my next home.
See, I was different. Like I had to sleep with the door open.
No, that's crazy.
I had to. At my mom's house, I had to open. Like
You know what's terrible about me hearing all of this? First things first, we sleep with our feet towards the door. Okay? Second thing is we close our door, but we leave our kids' door open. So I don't know if that counts. We sleep with the window closed, but we have a TV in our room that'll get turned off during the night. And I guess it kind of acts like a mirror.
Oh man,
yeah, it's considered like a portal.
I'm just that idiot dude in the background that's like, let's summon demons.
Oh no. You see Julio commented. He's like, "What?"
oh yeah, he's like,
Only a
"What
few
kind-
demons were conjured
He's like, what kind of
in the making of this video.
He's like, what kind of shit is that? And we're like, yeah, I don't know, man. It's like we don't fuck with that over here. So, yeah, we kind of avoid that, man. We've seen some things. We're like, nah, we're good.
Oh man, I want to jump headfirst into it. Let's do this.
Until it happens to you, just like, you know what?
Yeah, just don't pay attention.
I can fight a demon. I got this.
You think that, bro? Then you're gonna be possessed, hanging,
Next thing you know,
talking in tongues.
Austin comes on the podcast. Hello. His voice completely changes and starts choking Tony out in the corner. Cameras fall everywhere. Some paranormal activity stuff.
Dude, I'm the type of dumbass that'd be like, oh shit. Hey, knock it off.
I'm just kidding.
I wasn't serious, man.
Now, did you definitely blew my mind with some of those. I was like,
Yeah,
good
I
stuff.
think the scariest thing that Tony felt at my house was one day my mom was working and we were out of school at that time, and he slept over, one of those miracle nights, you know, slept over. He was allowed to, and we didn't clean. We didn't clean that day. My mom comes home.
Dude.
My mom comes home, slams that door. She comes straight to our room. Tony just books into the kitchen with my sister. And he's like, hey, you want to watch TV? And the whole background, me and my brother getting spanked. We're like, whoa, dude. Like, it was
All
crazy.
right,
And
dude.
my brother, he's really stubborn. He's been spanked numerous of times, and he's just like, that don't hurt. And my mom was harder. And I'm like, why am I at fault for this?
Yeah.
right.
On that note, we should probably end it here.
I know, but I'm gonna just say my story real quick. Like when that happened, his mom came in and she just started yelling because like my aunt, she yells like you can hear it, and I was like, oh fuck, and then like she comes into the room and she's like in Spanish, she's like, I told you guys to clean. Blah, blah, blah.
Tony
Boom, just
booked
starts
it.
fucking started.
Tony booked it, man.
Dude, elbows are being thrown. I just like, I walked out of the room, dude, went straight to the kitchen because that's where they had a TV. And I was like, her sister was right there, and she's just laughing. I was like,
you wanna
yo,
watch TV?
you want to watch TV? And like, I just turned it on. I'm like, just act fucking normal. 'Cause then I'm going to get my ass.
They're not going to know.
And then,
We were at that stage where our parents probably would hit us. You know, so it's kind of funny. Like,
Dude,
Tony's
no.
mom, she's like, come clean your dishes, do this, do that. I'm like,
Yeah, and then
sorry,
when,
mom.
when that happened, I remember she came out. She's like, "¿Y tú qué?" And I was like,
yeah.
"Oh fuck,
Yeah.
nothing. I'm watching TV."
Side note, your mom still tells me that to this day when we're in the park. She's like, "¿Y tú qué?" And I'm like, hey, man, where's my breakfast at? You told me breakfast like 3 years ago. I told her.
Yeah.
All right. On that note,
Yeah.
that was our episode for today. Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah. Thank you guys. And like always, follow our social media. We'll leave it down in the description below. Follow Luis's social media. So if you guys have any handyman work or stuff like that. And yeah, this has been Tony, your host with the most, or Tony La Torta, or whatever you guys want to call me today. Leave us a review on Spotify, Apple Podcast, wherever you get podcast. And yeah.
Please don't bully me on social media.
On that note, pieces.
Jesus.